Okay, we're going to do a few problems and then I'm going to give you a few problems for homework. So the first one is 2 cosine of x plus the square root of 3 equals 0. And this is actually asking you to solve for this x value. There's some angle that I can put into here that will make this whole statement true. Note that it's not asking you to simplify a trigonometric expression. It's not asking you to prove that this side equals this side. It's telling you something involving a number, and they're asking you to solve for that variable. And it's algebra. It's weird algebra because you're not used to thinking about it with something other than just x's and y's. So I'm going to subtract the square root of 3 from both sides, and then I am going to divide both sides by 2. And on your unit circle, you know that there are places where cosine of x equals negative square root of 3 over 2. And those two places are pi over 6 and 7 pi over 6. Okay, not too bad, right? Then let's look at this one. This one's a little bit different. I have 3 secant of theta plus 6 equals 0. Same thing, not asking you to verify anything, not asking you to simplify. I'm asking you to solve for this angle. So the first step is I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. And it's hard to work with secants. I don't expect you to have those memorized. I know Mrs. Miller did. But I don't expect you to. So what I'm going to do next is write this as 1 over cosine of theta, and this is negative 2. But remember that this is a fraction. Even though it's not written in fraction form, it's still a fraction. And so what I'm going to do is, just like what I talked about in class, I have 2 fractions, and I'm going to flip them. So this is cosine of theta over 1, and this now is negative 1/2. And you know that there are 2 places on the unit circle where cosine of theta equals negative 1/2. We are going to be at pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Next. I have 2 more for you. I promise to go quickly. You can pause me if you need to. So I have sine of x times secant of x minus sine of x equals 0. And there's many ways you can handle this one, but I know that I can factor when something is the same in both parts of an equation. Like if I had 2x minus 4, I know I can factor a 2 out. And that's the way you should think about this. I have signs in both parts of these, so I'm going to factor a sine out of this and out of this. When I factor it out of this side, I get secant of x. When I factor it out of this side, I get 1. If I'm multiplying 2 things together and I get 0, that means that one of these things has to be 0. So either sine of x is 0 or secant of x minus 1 must equal 0. So you know when sine of x equals 0, that happens at, and this we're talking about the interval 0 to 2 pi, that's either going to be when x is 0 or when x equals pi, or when x equals 2 pi. For secant of x, it's going to be secant of x equals 1. And again, I'm going to flip both sides. This is 1 over cosine of x. This is 1 over 1. I'm flipping them. So I have cosine of x over 1 equals, oh good, same thing. And when does cosine of x equal 1? 0 and 2 pi. Okay, I'm going to stop this video here because it is getting a little bit long, but you need to watch the next video for 1 more problem and then the 3 problems I want you to do for homework.